Hey there, YouTube, Madwitch here. So, news, everything lately. Black Lives Matter. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Now, not to be a dick or anything, I do find that the premise of this movement is admirable, but the way that they're going about it is all wrong, and the reason why they're going about it is even more wrong. This is the whole Black Lives Matter movement has been basically insinuated by a very strong emotion with no logic, no fact, and no research developed behind this. And here's proof right here on my screen. Now, looking at the numbers, okay, so uh this is the race, ethnicity, and sex of the victim by the offender of 2014. The 2015 ones won't come out until later this year. So it's 2016, just in case if this is still going on, is further along the line. It's 2016. This is the 2014. 2015s won't come out until later this year. It is March. So these numbers right here, this is the people who were killed and the people who killed them. All right, that's how this is working right here. See the race of offender and then race of victim. So this is the race of the people who were killed. This is the race of the people who killed that race. So this is white on white. Look at it like a times table now. Look at it like a times table. This is the rate of white on white crimes. All right. So this is the total of white people that were. This is the total of people that were killed. All right, in this bar right here, just in this bar right here. This is the part. These seem like big numbers, right? They do. I mean, 2,488 whites killed other whites, or were killed by other whites, while 187 blacks were killed by whites, while 446 whites were killed by blacks, and 2,205 blacks were killed by other blacks. Now, if we looked at this as a percentage, the numbers, they look bad. They look horrible. But this is where you're going to get fucked. The United States of America's white population is about 73%. 73, 74, somewhere around there. While the black population in America is anywhere between 16 and 17%. That's a huge difference. So, considering those percentages, that's actually a very low number considering percentages, considering how many white people there are in America. While this is an extremely high number compared to the blacks that live in America, going percentage wise. This is just based on the Federal Bureau of Investigation. These guys. These guys. Oof. Sorry. A bit gassy. It's like, oof. You ever get that where it's just like you got a burp, but it's stuck like right here, and you just can't get it out. And it's just like, ooh, and it hurts. That's what I got right now. It's like right here. So, back to this. Black Lives Matter. From what I understand, the movement started because a black man was shot and killed by a white police officer. Uh, Going through YouTube and news reports and everything else, holy shit, I did like 3 days of this shit. Not even fucking kidding. I actually took a break today, or I should say yesterday. I can't sleep. I'm still up. I've been up since freaking 8 o'clock yesterday morning, and it's 3:50 a.m. now where I'm at. So I've been up for a while. I don't know why I can't sleep. I just can't sleep. I haven't had any more caffeine than what I usually drink, so. But still up. So now I just decided to make a YouTube video. But that's what I understand. And also from what I understand is that it was either the same day or the next day or something like that, that a little black girl got shot by a stray bullet in a drive-by shooting in what I'm only assuming is a prominent black community. So Peggy Hubbard, I guess, made a video about it a few or sometime last year about that situation. So when I heard her talk, I went around the internet looking for news articles and everything about it, and sure enough, shit, a little 9-year-old girl was shot and killed while she was in her room because of a drive-by shooting. But nobody bitched about that. Now, I come from Milwaukee. I got my little antennas here. I made little antennas. I come from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, mind you. And there is a very high murder rate in Milwaukee, or at least when I lived there last, which was about 10 years ago. So, and from what I understand from what my mom says and what my brother says and what my dad says, it's just gotten worse. It's just not the same as what I remembered, is basically from what I'm understanding. And I shit you not, every other day I heard gunshots. Every other day you hear about it on the news. Another gang shooting, another murder, another black dude was shot by another black dude. You know, constantly on the news. It's quite depressing, really, to tell you the truth. But my real problem with the Black Lives Matter movement is the sheer disregard they have for everybody else. I've actually seen several videos, and two really stuck out to me. Two, three, one, two of them are actually kind of like tied together, but it's really three videos. One video was that there was a peaceful demonstration going on with Black Lives Matter, which, good start. However, bad ending. Martin Luther King didn't get much anywhere without his white supporters. You know, the white people who actually said stop discriminating black people. He didn't get very far with just a bunch of black people. Not to be racist, but it's the truth. Well, this protest had they had this big circle going on. You know, I guess it was like a prayer circle or something that they were doing. And then one of the members said, "If you are not black, get out the circle." And it's like, well, what if these white people are here to support your movement? What if they're here to support your Black Lives Matter movement? Now what are you doing to yourselves? Now you're getting rid of supporters. And right now you need supporters. You know, you got to have help. You got to take some help from somewhere. Not all white people are racist. The other two videos are similar. One was in a diner and one was in a college library, and it's essentially the same thing. Black Lives Matter protesters walk in and cause a ruckus and use intimidation and threats and everything else to basically, that's instilling fear. And you can't do that if you're trying to make a point about Black Lives Matter. The more you do this, the more people are going to not support you. Now, at first, I was, the whole, yeah, Black Lives do matter. But now it's starting to become to the point where it's like, I honestly don't care anymore. I was supporting you guys, I was rooting for you guys, but seeing more and more of the violent acts that you are doing is turning me off. And I don't like it. I don't want to be any part of it. So, watching a whole bunch of other YouTube videos and everything, it's basically the general census that, no, Black lives don't matter. Because why differentiate a life by their skin color? This right here shouldn't matter. White, black, other, whatever other means, includes American Indians or Alaskan Natives, Asians and Native Hawaiians, or other Pacific Islanders. Okay, so that's what that means. That's what other means. Basically, people who aren't Mexican. So the Mexicans have their own little bracket over here. That's kind of weird. That's actually really fucking weird. So yeah, way to promote racism, FBI. But white, black, it shouldn't matter. A life is a life is a life. You're a human being, right? What do Christians always say? We're all God's children. What does that even mean now? If we're splitting ourselves based on the color of our skin, then you're just hurting yourself. What does that make Christians then? Does it mean that white Christians are better than black Christians, or black Christians are better than white Christians? Is this what it's coming down to? So in the Milwaukee, the majority of black people are Christian. So I'm only assuming that the majority of the black population in America is Christian. I said the majority, not all, just the majority. So what does this say? What does this say about being everyone being, all humans are God's children? What is that saying now? Black Lives Matter is now promoting racism and dividing our nation once again. When, like I said, when people like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X got, try to get rid of that division. Yes, there is still racism. Yes, there is still stereotypes. Yes, there's, all this bullshit going on between the races in America. It's unfortunate, but some people just don't want to progress. They don't want to move forward. Black Lives Matter, you're making us regress, not progress. Ooh, finally. So all these attacks that are happening, now I'm actually kind of afraid of what the 2015 is going to be like on here. with all these new violent crimes that are happening with the Black Lives Matter movement. Um, there's videos of ex-Marines and ex-Air Force, basically ex-military period, getting jumped, and other white people being jumped by people who are claiming to be part of Black Lives Matter, just because these individuals decided to ignore the racist, bigoted threats that were being shot in their direction. So you're only hurting yourselves. At first, when it first started, there were a lot of people on your side. Us non-racist white people were on your side. A lot of blacks were on your side. But now even the black community is turning against you. Uh, Peggy Hubbard is one of them, and there was another guy that I was watching who basically was calling you guys idiots, and he was a black Marine. He's a veteran, black Marine. So, it's now your own race is turning against you because of the way you're acting, because of the way you're treating this movement. Now, again, like I said, I've done my little bit of research, and from what I understand, the whole thing was that a black guy got shot by a white officer. So this is really not a Black Lives Matter thing, but stop police brutality thing. Which, yes, police brutality still happens, and it's not just towards black people. It's towards white people and Hispanic people and Asian people and Islamic people. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to direct you towards this website, copblock.org. Badges don't grant extra rights. So they got a whole bunch of stuff on here for you to look up. Groups. You can start a group. You can uh, cop block groups. There's This is just the main. This is the main hub right here. This is the basically the non-denominational. That this is all over, and it's not just here in America. I've seen it in. I've seen videos from Europe. I've seen videos from Australia. So this is basically the worldwide hub right here. And there are other ones that are, it says start an offshoot, start a group, grow a group, allied outlets. So it's mainly in more urban settings than where I'm at. Where I'm at, police brutality is very low. It happens every now and again, but it's extremely low where I'm living at. The cops here, they're, for the most part, they're actually pretty cool. I have run into a few that are, complete and total assholes. And, yeah, you do want to just like punch them in the face, but you can't because, they got that badge. So, you want to stop police brutality? This is how you go about it. This is where you need to be. They give you a whole bunch of tips and suggestions and everything else. They got flyers that you can print out. Their store, they got the shiny badges, which is it's a replica of an actual badge, but it says cop block, or it says shiny badge doesn't grant you extra rights or something like that. They got T-shirts, hoodies, shirts, stickers, hats, flyers, and a whole bunch of other stuff. that you could use for the stuff. So I mean, even a simple little camera such as this is great for shooting cops. This is what we mean by shooting cops, is filming them. Your cell phone, everybody, cell phones, all cell phones got a camera on it. All cell phones. And in almost every state, it is completely and totally legal to film anybody in a public area. So, instead of attacking people who have not done you wrong and basically making everybody else's lives miserable, I mean, I'm glad it hasn't gotten this far north where I'm at. And it's starting to become ridiculous. It is dividing us, and it's sad when we should be working together and uniting. So my answers to Black Lives Matter, what about white lives? What about Asian lives? What about Hispanic lives? You know, people are being killed every day. For one reason or another, they're being killed. If you feel the need to kill somebody, don't. The only time that you should even consider taking a life is if you were trying to save yourself or someone else. And only if it is a last resort. At a last resort. There is no reason why we should be killing people. None whatsoever. Especially when there are bigger problems in the world. To let petty bullshit such as gang rivalry divide us. You divided yourselves with the gangs and the bullshit. And yes, I will be making another video going more into that. So I want to cut this one short, and I hope people will actually listen to this and start using logic, fact, and start doing their research before they start letting their emotions get the best of them. So just remember, all lives matter. And as always, blessed be.